Hello, hello. Good afternoon, friends. It is Ann coming to you again on a Saturday. I want to debut those new stencils. I want to show you some more of the hat collection. And I'm like, I've got all these hats in that I've ordered from Amazon, and I just needed to share those with you. So hop on in, say hey. If you're watching on replay, hashtag replay, I'd love to welcome you. And I hope you are having a blessed Memorial weekend. Do you got any activities planned? You gonna do a cookout or anything, or is your cookout gonna be rained out? Are you a race fan? Are you going to the race? What you doing? Tell me what you're doing on this Memorial weekend, and I pray that you will uplift all of our military, our veterans, and the families of those that have lost loved ones. I just ask that you would just take a few moments every day this weekend and just keep them in your prayers. All right, let's get started. Hopefully I'll be able to see comments. Let me do welcome and see if that might help for my comments to come up. So give me a second here. See if that will help. I have my phone backwards so you could see the words, and I will have to refresh my page so I could see your comments. So bear with me. I got this cool hat on Amazon. It has adjustable strings in here so you can adjust it to your size, and I just love it. Love, love, love it. I am not a cowboy hat wearer, but I do have a set of cowboy boots, and I just love this cowgirl hat. I love that little buckle on here. And before we remove that headband, I am going to use the Amazing Grace set on here from the hat collection, the new hat collection. It is still sneak peeking. It will be available on Tuesday, the 26th. So hop over the sneak peek, check them out. I posted all the links. I posted the whole collection. I posted the two I'm going to use this afternoon. And hop over there, check them out. And of course, if there's anything that you like, do not hesitate, do not wait. They are probably not going to last long. The bundles are on sale, so I cannot remember how long they are on sale for. But hop over there, check it out, use my links, and then you can also use my code WK21 and to get you a discount. Before I remove the headband, I am going to add the cross from the Amazing Grace stencil right there. That way, I'm just going to leave that band on here so that I could put that cross in here and somewhat line it up if my eyes will not deceive me. And if it is a little crooked, it'll be okay. See how I stuck that in there? I am going to tape it on top of that because I don't want this to move when we stencil. It's hard to get this to stay in the middle. And if anybody is interested in the link, let me know. And I will post those. I am trying to tape this to where it will not move on me. Yeah, that will be good. And then I'll put another one over on this side. Just thought I had a piece of tape hung on my arm because it matches the color. I'm like, what am I doing with a piece of tape on my arm? There we go. I was debating on whether to use shimmering silver or white pearl. my silver is really, and this is Deco Art, is really thin. Don't know why, but I'm gonna try it. Now let me tell you, make sure that you don't have any paint on your hands, because it will transfer to your hat, and it is a lot harder to get out of your hat than it is out of a piece of wood. Hey Kim, hello from Ohio. How are you doing, and how is your weather? Are you getting rain like we are? We used to live in Pennsylvania now, so not too far away from you. And let me show you, can you see? Move this over a little bit. I'm just going to take my stencil brush, and these stencil brushes are from Essential Stencil, and you can get them in a 4-pack. I'm using the 3/4 inch one today. There is still way too much paint on here, so I'm going to take my paper towel, whatever you have, cardboard, oh my goodness, I can't think, brown paper, paper bag, whatever you have, cereal box, and you can offload it. I am going to put my hand down in here to kind of stabilize it, and I'm gonna have to hold it somehow or another. Very lightly. You know what? I am just gonna stipple this. I have to get me a little bit more paint, since I am gonna just stipple. Can you see that? Let me turn that down a little bit, maybe you can see better. And sometimes it will be deceiving. It'll look like you have absolutely no paint on here, but you really have a lot more paint than you think. And one other thing, you can put a light coat of a light gray under here for your silver to show up better. And I'm just going to peek to see what this looks like. Because I don't need this to show up really strong. I'm using acrylic paint, and acrylic paint will, put my hand in here, will stay on your hat. You don't have to seal it. If you've ever gotten acrylic paint onto your clothes, you know how hard it is to get off. If you want to know how easy it is to clean a stencil, watch this. I'm just going to show it on this smaller one. Got a Clorox wipe. I just used the Members Mark one. And look at that. If you do it right away, wipe it from both sides, and then you can just dry it with your paper towel. And look at that. That's how easy it is to clean your stencils. You can wash them in your sink, and these are reusable many, many, many times over. And that's what we have right now. I am going to remove this band. That way I can put our stencils down. I know that this is my back, and I just love that. You can add different bands to it if you want to, but I'm just going to leave it plain just like that. And I know it is already curved. I am going to try to hold it down, and I'm going to add the Amazing Grace first. Thank you, Kim. Yeah, it does feel like fall here. Our temperatures have changed. We were at like a, let's see, we were in the upper 80s and 90s, and it is, yesterday was in the 60s, and today maybe 70s, but it is chilly in the morning. And after I get this taped, I'll show you what I did. The brims on the hats are all different. You see how I lifted that up a little bit right here so it would fit better, and I will hold it down and stencil as I go to make it fit better. If you are afraid that you're going to hit the sides, tape that up. I am just going to hold my finger down and I'm just going to go around just like this and stencil on it. Offload, offload, even though you don't need to offload as much. I'll turn this down a little bit more. Maybe you'll be able to see better. And I am just going to stipple instead of and I'm just moving my fingers along. Just like that on the brim of this hat. I feel that the stippling is easier. And if you need to dry it, don't hold it so close. Let me reposition this. Some stencils are easier to put on than others. They are all cut a little bit different. And before we add the grays, I'm going to reposition the stencil. Wipe my hands. I am from Germany originally, now living in Concord, North Carolina. My husband is in the military, or was in the military. That's what we have right now. And you see that boo-boo I made right there? I hit it with my brush. So we are going to attempt to clean that up. And if not, I'm going to add a little greenery or flower on there. The other nice thing is this paint dries very quickly. We need to make sure that we do not have any paint on the back side because that can transfer down. So we're just going to take our stencil, and we know that our G ended here. So we're just going to move this up a little bit. And again, hold it down. I'm just going to come from that side over. And you can swirl if you want to. I just think on these kinds of hats, it is easier sometimes to just pounce. Need to get some more paint. If we have new folks on here, I invite you to follow my page. I go live twice a week for creating on Mondays and Thursdays at 6:30 Eastern. And on Saturdays, we have a devotional study that we are working on at 2:30 in the afternoon. So if you are interested in any of that, please come back, hang out. I do all kinds of different projects. So come back often and see what we are doing. And I call us the Whimsy Bunch, so sprinkle us out. That looks good. I am going to clean my hand off. And I'm okay that it is not in your face bright. I don't mind that it is a little muted. If you want it brighter, you can put another coat on it. This is what we have right now. And in this set is this other stencil and this one. You do not have to use both. You can use one or the other. And I think I am going to, and if you ever wonder which way the stencil goes, which way it is cut, look at your pictures on how it is laying on your picture and you will know. Let's see. See, the flower is up and the leaves is up, so you know the flower is up and the leaves, so you know that is the way that the stencil was cut, and that's the way it has to lay on the project. See, is that the bigger one? Yes. I'm debating on which one I want to put over here. Let me see. I think I'm going to do this one. I think that one will look good. And we're going to do the same thing. We are going to, let me make sure I got this pushed over enough. Yes. We are going to lay it down. I'm going to tape this part down. And then we're just going to walk it across. Loading my brush and offloading it a bit. And again, depending on what kind of hat you have, the stencil will fit better on your hat. But I just wanted to show you how you can make it work if it doesn't fit exactly the way your hat is. And there's many different stencils in that collection that are different sizes. So if you have a hat that it does not fit exactly on there, then use a different one that might fit better. You can also fill all of this in with a paint pen or a brush. I am just going to leave it the way it is. I am not going to fill it in. I am getting ready to pivot this. Make sure I don't have no paint on my fingers. I'll float again, and be careful that you do not hit your hat with your paint. The little dome brushes will be perfect for this as well. And they might be easier to use than the stencil brush. On our next project, I will use the dome brushes, and we will find out what we think. But do you see how easy it is? You just hold it in place or tape it, and you just add your color. And you can pick any color that you want. Any acrylic paint will work great on here. Let's see if I can. And the fibers will absorb some of that paint. That's why if you want a second coat, you can do a second coat on here. You can also stencil under the hat. How pretty that looks. And now we're going to use this one right here. A little bit more paint out. Thanks for hopping on and hanging out. If you're watching the replay, please hashtag replay. Let me know that you've been here. I would like to say hi, but I will not know that if you don't tell me. I just love the way this is turning out. This one is going to be a keeper. I won't keep this one for myself, but most of my projects, or all of my projects, are normally available to purchase. And if you are new to me, I have a YouTube channel, so if you want to rewatch this, hop over to YouTube. If you want to see what I have in my shop or on my blog post, check out my website. It is whimsically knotted. I invite you to check it out and see what's going on over there. And I'm just lightly repositioning this as I go. To make it fit around my hat. Last one. I'm gonna scoot it up a little bit. Don't have too much more to go. Just keep holding it on with your fingers. And we have a little small area where the stems didn't connect when we pivoted. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that paint and I'm just going to connect it. And we can also come in and connect our bridges. Bridges are the section that hold the stencil together. And we'll do that with a little small brush. And we'll just add those, connect those pieces to the bridges. And that way our flowers don't look like they are floating in air. Get a little bit more paint. We're just about done. A little bit more. Sorry, I get quiet when I'm concentrating. Do you guys get quiet when you concentrate? I am going to do the same thing on the word Amazing Grace. You just need a fine tip brush, and Essential Stencil has some of those brushes as well. And we're just about done with this one, and then we're going to do our other hat. And I might have to get a little bit more paint. But these are really fun to create. Thank you. I appreciate that, Kim. Yeah, we were stationed in Pittsburgh. A little, well, we lived near Pittsburgh. We were living in Finleyville. We'll finish these other spots real quick. I'm not going to do the other side. I'm going to do that off camera. And the nice thing about these stencils, let's say this would fade out, you could literally just put the stencil back on and repaint it. Because these stencils line up perfectly. And the collection is available on Tuesday. It is sneak peek right now, so when you look, it will say coming soon. And that way you can pick out your favorites, or if you want the bundle, there's a whole bundle available. And all the links are in the header. And you can use my code WK21 on anything that you get from Essential Stencil, whether it is the new bundles, the Halloween, that is restocked fall and Halloween, They are on sale right now. Or anything else, brushes, the transfer tools, any of it. You can use my code. Right here, I've finished that out so it will not have the bridges in there, and that's what our hat looks like. And those little boo-boos right here and right here, I am going to try to get them off. If I can get them off with a little sanding, I will get them off. If not, then I will just take the stencil and add a leaf or something else. Since this is not much, I might be able to just scrape it out. But it was just a little dusting. Matter of fact, I got that one out. The camera might not have even picked this up. These hats are very forgiving. There we go, we got it all fixed up. What you think? You can also add things underneath on the bottom, but I just love that. It is just enough, and we've got dogs, and I've got dog hairs on here, and the dogs are not even up here. But I just love it. In the on the stencil packet, they had put the cross on the top. The head in there was flat on the top, so they put the cross there. But I think it looks gorgeous at the front, just like what we have it. This is a cotton ball cap. Just really cool. I am not a ball cap person. Oh, you didn't even see me wearing the hat. Forgot that I had put the camera down. Can you see me? There we go. So we're going to do this one next, but let me put the hat back on so you can actually see it. And that's what it looks like. For this one, we are going to use the Wild Floral Leopard. It has this awesome floral, and then it also says wild and free. We are just going to use the floral part with that little bit of leopard. I'm going to turn you back down. Thank you. I appreciate that. You just have to be able to hold it. It is not hard. You just got to make sure that you can hold it in position if you cannot tape it all the way down. And on this one, I've debated, but I've decided I am going to use that small flower with a little bit of leopard on there. And I'm going to tape this down. And on this one, we will add some more things on that end. We'll add some more leopard print. This is not sticking too good on my hat. Keeps popping up. Let me put this back down. I need you to stick. Do you ever talk to your projects? I talk to my projects all the time. For the flower and the leaves, I'm going to use buttermilk. For the leopard print, I'm going to use traditional burnt umber, and then we're going to come in and use a little bit of the rich espresso, the metallic, to put over top of our leopard print. And I use a paper plate and put coffee filters on it so that I could put my paint on it. I used to just use paper plates, but using the paper plate for the sturdiness, the coffee filters are less expensive, so they are easier to use. And metallics are naturally thinner and more translucent. And that's why it is a good idea to do a dark coat first and then a, or the similar color. Like I can use this and then add that on top and it'll shimmer better. So I could have used gray under there and then put our metallic over top. I'm going to use 2 of the dough brushes from Essential Stencil. Whoop. Use the little one first for our flowers. The dome brushes, when you load them, they hold a lot of paint. Same thing, offload the sides, not just the top. And this done, popped back off. I'm just gonna have to hold it. On this one, I am going to do some light swirling motion. I've got very light pressure on here. Let me turn it around. There, that might be easier to see. Sometimes you can just go in your offload spot. Sometimes you just go in on your napkin. You might have enough paint left. Pick that up and hold that. And see it, you might think that you don't have much paint on there, but look at how much is on there. And I still find it easier to stipple. I am not going to do our little leopard prints. When you work on fabrics, you sometimes don't have to offload as much as if you work on wood, because the fabric absorbs your paint. So a lot of times you don't even have to offload as much, because the fabric absorbs the paint really well. Repositioning my fingers. And I know you ladies that will watch on replay, you're not used to me coming on a Saturday. And I understand that. Repositioning my fingers. Just make sure, do not touch your hat. Clean your fingers off first. And as I mentioned, the halfway to Halloween restock is happening. And the fall has been restocked as well, and Essential Stencil has lots of, okay, I wanted to make sure I did not do this one, transfers as well. So if you're not good in stenciling, you can use a transfer. A transfer works really well. You can create a fun background and then just add your transfer to it. This is going to be pretty. And again, you can fill this in if you want to fill this in. Go ahead and add a little bit more paint right there. I'm always dabbing it off on my paper paper towel. Couldn't think of what it was called. I've done 2 coats on here. Look how pretty that looks. I had to make sure it didn't have anything on my, and you could even leave it as that. There are several words in that collection, so you can just add a word. We could have used the word grace and added grace on here. And now I'm just going to add some leopard print to this. See if we can get that to stay. I'm going to use the bigger brush, and I'm going to use the brown first. And again, offloading. I'm going to reload and offload. And I am just holding it in my hand. So what plans are you having for Memorial Weekend? You got cookouts planned, or you going to a festival, or what's going to be going on? We're not going to do anything. I'm going to cook some hamburgers tonight since it is raining. Can't cook it outside. I'm just going to cook them on the stove. True story. Went to the store yesterday. Called my husband and for him to see if we had any hot dogs. I didn't think we had any. He looks, tells me we don't have any. I go to the checkout. Totally forgot to get the hot dogs. That's what you call an absent-minded brain. My brain was not functioning. Before I let this go, I will add the metallic to this brush. And I do a combination of stippling and swirling. If you're running out of paint, you can use a little bit more pressure. You need a little reload. But we're not going anywhere. I'm not doing anything. I'm just going back over. Ooh, my stencil's moved. Yeah, not too bad. Look at that. Isn't that cute? I was going to let that dry. I'm going to add some on this side over here. I think I'm just going to use this part right here. Let me see. I'll get this to go over here. I think I can make this work. Ideally, you want to take this down. I just find it easier for me to hold it. And maybe Essential Stencil can create some stencils just for ball caps. Wouldn't that be amazing? To have them just specifically for ball caps. I'll refresh my screen here in just a moment. That's cute. Look at that. I just love that. I think I'm going to leave it at that. I don't think I'm going to add any more to it. I think I like it just the way that is. I'm cleaning my brush off so that I can pick up that metallic, and I'm going to load it up really good. Offload it. Load up a little bit more because I want to make sure that it is in the bristles. Offload the sides. Let me make sure I don't have no paint on here. This is a big stencil. I'm going to lay this back on here. Lining it up lining it up is easy. These stencils are cut so precise. It is very easy to line this back up. And then I'm just going to hold it, and we will add our metallic on top, and it will show up really well. And I'm just putting my hand down, and then I'll move it over to where I need my hand to be for the next set. See, I put my hand down, hold it, move my fingers. Have to reload, get a little bit more paint. Hold it. Reposition your fingers. And we're just about done. Oh, that's cool. Look at that. I love the way that turned out. Now, if you like it better this way, you could leave it. If you like it better with a little bit of a metallic, then do the metallic. Do whatever speaks to you. Like, I like vintage, grungy, antique, old, aged. So if you don't like that style, then just stop where you like it, whatever feels best for you. You don't have to do it all. You can just stop whatever level you like. I'm just here to give you inspiration, to show you what is possible, and you let your imagination go and create to your heart's desire. This is not fine art, this is just creative fun. Enjoy the process. Creating is therapeutic. It helps you to relax and enjoy the process. Look how cute that is. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. And if you want to, we can. Oh, we don't have but a couple of minutes left. I'm going to clean my hand. I was going to say we can paint. We can add a little bit of green in here into our flower. This is Lush green. I'm just going to use that same little brush. Tap it off. And we're going to shade this in a little bit. Nothing to be afraid of. Just coloring within the lines. I'm going to put a little bit of paint out on my palette here. Add a little bit of water to my brush. That helps the paint move a little bit better. And we'll just color it in and color our leaves in, and then you can color in your flower. thinning that paint out a little bit again. I'm dabbing it off on my paper towel. And since we had that cream color underneath, it gives it automatic shading. It makes the outside of the leaves a little bit lighter. And I am not going to bore you to death with this. I just want to show you what you can do to fill this in. To take this up another notch. And again, if you don't like it filled in, you don't have to. This is just optional. And let's do one of these bigger leaves. And on that one, you will definitely see the difference. Tap it back in my water. Thin my paint out because that makes it flow. You will be able to see the little ribs on here because of the white, or the cream color underneath. And it just has that automatic shading. I always tap my brush off on my water container, and then I dab it off on my paper towel as well. You're going to have to let it dry really good because you're putting wet paint on here, and do not stick your finger in it like I sometimes do. And I will finish this offline. Just wanted to show you what it would look like. If you decided to fill this in. All right, ladies, I appreciate you hopping on. Thank you for hanging out with me on a Saturday afternoon. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay, let me know that you've been here. I appreciate you. Again, we've used the, what was this one called? Wild Floral Leopard one on the ball cap. And then we used the Amazing Grace one on this Cowgirl hat. And look how gorgeous that turned out. I just absolutely love it. We just used plain silver. We did not put a color underneath on this one. And I put the cross on the front. And on this one we used buttermilk for the flower. And what was that one? Burnt umber for the leopard print, and then we used rich espresso and added the metallic on the top. And then I filled in with a little bit of lush green, and I will do the rest of the leaves, and I will fill in that little flower as well. Let me know in the comments what color we should do the flower in. Or should we just leave the flower the way it is and just fill the leaves in? That would be kind of cool too. All right, folks. Thanks for hopping on. Have a blessed afternoon. All the links are in the comments for both stencils and for the head collection. Check out Essential Stencil. Their Halloween and fall is on sale right now. The head collection will release on Tuesday. And my code WK21 will save you at checkout. So hop over there, grab those things on sale, and use my ambassador code to save you even more. Appreciate you guys. Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. We the people, we are celebrating 250 years in July. So lift up our military members and just think of their families and say a little prayer for them as well. Have a good one. I'm going to point you down and put our other hat up here so you can see. Uh-oh, what went wrong? I've got a message on my phone.